Welcome to Numb Bills Fan Podcast for November 5th, 2015. I'm David Palermo.
I'm your co-host, Adam Deacon, and we are back once again.
Co-host is such an ugly word.
Yeah, it is.
You sound lesser than me, but I don't think you are all the time.
Yeah, we both serve.
You have your days.
This is a team sport. It's a team win when it's a win. It's a team loss when it's a loss.
Yep. How are you feeling? How do you guys all feel after this extra week off to taking that ugly Jaguars loss?
I am ready to move on.
Me too.
I'm so over it.
What does the outlook look like to you? Here's where I've been, and
you know that I'm the overly optimistic Bills fan.
Me too. I can find a reason to find them to win every game.
Right. I mean, I can get negative too, just as easily. I can
right
poo on the team for hours too, but I try really hard not to be that guy.
That's also the easier path is to be that negative guy. I mean, and speaking of negative, so I'm hearing through the week, the radio shows here and there, with the bye week, all the media slowed down. I'm so dumb. I didn't know that they weren't doing any press conferences this week on the bye week. So I'm waiting. I'm no presser, and I'm going nuts. So I live and die by those. They're great. So many hints, and next thing you know, it's some of the radio shows are getting calls about, hey, what about that Ryan Mallett guy? The guy who can't make a flight. And how's the draft look? And
you know what? I'm not even going to hold the flight against Ryan Mallett. I do not want him for so many other football reasons.
He makes Drew Bledsoe look like a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
pass. I'm so glad that
and if
wasn't a thing.
And if a guy that had that much belief in him, Bill O'Brien, who coached him when he was with the Patriots, doesn't keep him around because Bill O'Brien was on the Patriots. And so is Ryan Mallett. I mean, he would know firsthand the potential he has. So he was obviously clearly sick of him. But I'll tell you something. It ain't over.
Oh, no, not by a long shot.
It ain't over. And all you guys worried about the quarterback thing, what? Did you forget about Tyrod Taylor? Yeah. We can harass them all we want about that Titans game. That was a hideous game, and I hate that the second half is when they turn up.
Yeah, I mean,
it is annoying, but if you look at EJ and then you look at him, boom.
He came through hurt, though. He was hurt, and he finished that game out and got the win. Again, if you listen to our podcast, I think we even titled it Ugly Win, but he got that W.
At least we have the luxury with that. I mean, so that said, just as a little intro of what we're going to get into, I mean, I cannot describe the feeling of knowing there's 9 games left.
Yeah.
9.
There's 9 games, and we've lost 4, but we've won 3, so and there's no counting this. It is so far from garbage time at this point. And there are those callers or those people posting on Twitter or whatever that are ready saying the team should tank, get the draft pick. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I just wonder why they're fans. Why wouldn't, if you're a fan of something, why wouldn't you hope for the best? I mean, it's just like it's like picking on somebody that's handicapped to be negative. It's that easy. Like, why would you do that?
I feel like maybe I'm racing to the core of this subject too quickly, but the number one thing, the most prominent thing that's been holding this football team back is injuries. The injury bug came, it hit hard, it hit early, and now we are at what I see is a turning point where we're getting a lot of our guys back. And not only that, there's some major injuries around the league on teams that are on the back end of our roster. Cameron Wake just went down with a season-ending Achilles for the Dolphins. We play them this week. There's a question as to who's going to be starting at quarterback for the Jets when we play them on Thursday night.
AFC's wide open.
AFC is wide open. I mean, I don't want to say it's trash, but it's kind of trash.
And don't get me wrong, I feel bad that I'm, I sound like a drama queen, which I am. You know what I mean? I'll stir the pot. But truth is, I want to go to bed at night. That's it. Some friends take it personal when I'm a little blunt. But, I want you to know what I'm thinking. And, and it's like, as a Bills fan, I don't want to go trashing other Bills fans constantly, but it's really annoying, man. We spend women, whatever. We spend money to go to these games. We buy the merchandise. We're proud of Bills fans.
Don't apologize because some of these people have zero chill, none whatsoever.
I'm not on that as much as you, but that's what I'm saying. I hate to say that. I hate that we had to say that. And the fact they had the balls, the McNuggets, to freaking just post off their personal Facebook hateful shit. And there's people saying things like E.J. Manuel should die and he's the worst feeling person in the world, tweeting at him. And it's like, frankly, grow the fuck up. I try not to drop the F-bomb a lot. I mean, don't look at the Italian Contractor videos if you don't like Scarface. But, point being, I just can't. It bothers me. We're supposed to be in this together. Do you think being negative, do you think attacking Sammy Watkins, you know what? Good for Sammy Watkins. Good for Sammy Watkins. I'm sick of these players getting heat.
Yeah, no, I'm with that 100%. I got Sammy's back. There's a lot of people who were jumping at him, saying they don't want him on the team. They're embarrassed that bought his jersey, this and that. For what he said on Instagram, that was literally defending the fact that he was at Disney with the family on his off week, on his bye week. That's his time. What he does with his time off from the game is no one's business, just like what I do on my Saturdays and Sundays, what you do on your Saturdays and Sundays. That's nobody's business but my own. And now, he snapped a picture. He is in the public eye. He threw it up there. And you gotta expect that there's going to be that guy or those guys.
Yeah, now, I will say, though, on that, we were just talking about this. I'm kind of spry for being 31. I'm probably in better shape the last few months of my life than I have been in a while, and probably like 5, 6, 7 years. And I gotta say, if I was to go to Disneyland and walk around, I would probably get my ankles and feet would probably get tired.
Come on, bro. My ankles and feet get tired walking around the Golden Corral. Let's be real.
This is true. But we were talking about.
All right, maybe I make 6, 7, 8 trips up.
We were talking about me, and you're talking about short sprints.
All right,
but it is like football, though. You do have to. Golden Corral is a shit show.
It's hard, man. It's hard because you're so light when you get there and you go up your first time, and then then you're coming back and you got 2-3 plates of food. I got 2-3 plates of food. I don't know how y'all do it at the buffet, but I go in. And that's a little heavy, so you start getting tired. You get that in you. You feel a lot heavier. You go back. Then you got 3 more plates of food you got to carry.
You know what?
At this point, you're carrying 6 plates of food. 3 in you, 3 in your hands. It gets really bogs you down after the 4th or 5th trip.
Remember Mario 64? All right, so
Mario
Kart for Nintendo 64.
Oh, Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart for Nintendo 64. Sorry about that.
Listeners, while we're on this topic, I will play any of you in Mario Kart 64 for money. Hit me up on Twitter. Numbbills Adam D.
You know about that, and I'll hook it up later because I think I have it downstairs.
Numbbills Adam D on Twitter. If you want to play Mario Kart for money, I'm your guy.
Anyways, I got a rake of that, so yeah, let's go. But Mario Kart 64, right? This is Golden Corral. Remember how they had the extras where they made the tracks backwards, and then you were going against traffic? That's what it's like at Golden Corral. You have a few people behind you, a few people in front of you going one direction, and you have just like truckloads of people entering to go to their seats, going by you with plates, little kids running by you.
No,
with
I'm
chocolate
saying
things.
it's not even like that. It's like more like the battle mode from the original Mario Kart, because you never know what's about to like fly around the corner at you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, battle mode. That was sick.
Yo, I used to drop the elbow in battle mode. I was nice with it, but yeah, Sammy. So back to Sammy. You know, he was catching that heat. He knows he's in the public eye. He's got to be careful, but I don't blame him. I feel the same way that he would feel. Like, I don't want to be bothered when I'm with my family. I don't want to be told to be doing my job on my days off. When he's on the field, he does well. I understand his frustrations. I understand all of his frustrations. But that message seemed to be accepted in a really broad scope. A lot of people felt a lot of different things off of that. And it was to the point where they wanted the guy off the team, a lot of them. And I don't see him as attacking the fans. The thing that everyone got so upset about.
You want him off the team, but there's people out there in support of Ray Rice who knew that he, like, we're talking wives, that this dude had a.
Well, I was going to get to that. I was going to get to the fact that in the grand scheme of NFL villains, this guy is not even in the conversation. There are such bad dudes out there. Like you said, Ray Rice. Video footage
Before the video footage, though, you had housewives that are supporting him. Ray Rice. And then the video comes out, and then, oh, shit, it's real now. You guys are piles of shit.
Or, like, let's talk about somebody who's not looking for a job right now. Like, Sammy Watkins hasn't slammed anyone onto no bed full of assault rifles. He hasn't done that.
Sammy Watkins isn't in the face of the coaches. Stirring the pot on the sidelines, pushing a special teams coach.
The reason everybody's mad at Sammy Watkins is he said something about y'all are losers, have fun with your little jobs, saying that they were jealous of the position he's in. But the first line of his rant was, to anyone who has a problem with me being injured. So I'm online a lot. We talk about that on here all the time. I'm always reading posts, message boards, Facebook groups.
I ain't got time for that because I swear I just want to break everything glass.
Yeah. It doesn't do me any favors with my blood pressure. That's for sure. But I'm on there a lot. I like to try to keep the pulse of the fan base, and it's just like you can't be mad at him for it. Everyone's like, oh, what, my little job isn't good enough? You rich ball player, you think you're better than me? But it wasn't directed at the average fan. It was directed at these guys who have nothing better to do than be like, yo, man, why aren't you watching film? You guys lost against the Jaguars. Like, what are you doing at Disney? Like, that it's for them.
Why aren't you a robot in solitary confinement with your face in your iPad?
Your average Bills fan that supports the team doesn't apply here. It wasn't directed at them, but a lot of people are like, oh, well, he doesn't respect the blue collar community. Buffalo's a blue collar town. Man, Sammy likes playing here. He's said he likes playing here. He likes Buffalo. Let's not screw that up, and let's not become that city. Let's not have it become a thing where you got high profile free agents being like, I don't want to sign in that team where everyone runs the guys out of town.
Really? I mean, we just had the most explosive offseason ever, and like
we're a hard enough sell as it is. The weather up here sucks. If you live here, you know it sucks. If you don't live here, take my word for it, sucks.
Yeah, and think about this. This kid has never had to face this kind of adversity in his life. And oh, by the way, he's got piles and shitloads of money, Brinks trucks of money. Actually, maybe not yet because you can fit $1 million allegedly in a shoebox. But you get my point.
One Brinks truck, maybe.
Of singles, all right? He's got Brinks trucks of stripper money. And let me tell you something, all right?
He's not hurting.
He's never had to go through this before. He's never had to have people against him. He's always been a star everywhere he's went. The Bills have invested the first two first round picks.
And that's got to put so much pressure on a kid that age. I mean, he turned 21 just a few weeks after he was drafted. I mean, he's 22 now.
And also, not for nothing,
we're not even going to discuss. We're not even going to open the box of what I was doing when I was 21, 22 years old. Needless to say, I wasn't wearing pants. I was swinging from rafters, and just we'll leave it at that. And this dude is out there working hard. He wants to play. He wants to contribute. Wants to contribute more. I got nothing but love for Sammy, man. Nothing but love.
I got nothing for love. Like this podcast, before we started this thing, I wanted to have some kind of radio that I just never had the balls to do it. Just quite frankly, just some kind of radio where it's like, okay, this is what the coaches are saying. This is what the players are saying. We know what coach speak is. Can we really dive into it and figure out a nice way to really dissect about things? And I really think that just calling people idiots without warrant, or not taking a player's side, or looking at it both sides of the coin, I have no break to get to. I have nothing to get to after this except for some Madden or sleep time or something. And I just want to have some kind of unbiased, let's back up the players here. And I will always back the player, because at the end of the day, I don't care how much money you have. Every year I always shoot to make more money than I had last year, and it's helped. But you know what? You hear it from people who've been at the top with millions of dollars and lost it all. And, and especially for me, I listen to a lot of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. You hear a lot of stories, and they say money is not if you think money's going to make you happy, it's definitely more than that. It's not the answer. And what I'm getting at is Sammy Watkins is still a human being. And a lot of people tend to think, well, he's got millions of dollars, so he should have no life and lock himself in a safe for all we care, and have a piss bag and an oxygen tank and fluids going in them, and also be working out 24/7 and have a nutritionist, and just eat, sleep, think football, so that way E.J. Manuel or Tyrod Taylor or whoever's throwing the ball, Chris Hogan for all I care, they throw it over his head, or they don't even look his way. And you have to remember, these are human beings. They see that. Just as easy as we can get to them, they can get to us.
Right.
Now, they might not read through 2,000 comments, but have a little piece of respect. And if you have
and
media,
you know what?
it's a shame of you to even say things like so hurtful.
You know what really blows about this situation is it's not the first of its kind, and it won't be the last. But it might eventually get to that point. Now, I really love that you can get on Twitter and you can kind of interact with some of these athletes, some of these celebrities. Every once in a while, you'll get one back. I had Stevie Johnson tweet back at me before, and Preston Brown tweeted back at me before.
I had Doug Flutie. That's my pride. That's my freaking trophy.
You had EJ hit you on the Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. And to me, that's so. Oh, and the big one. I almost forgot the big one when CJ Spiller picked Hoya for his fan of the week there.
Oh yeah.
My son Hoya. I had a picture of him holding up a CJ Spiller jersey we had just bought at the mall. Put it up online, and he saw it and put it up as his little fan of the week or whatever.
That's what you can do now.
And it's so cool. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, is it going to change my life for the better? No, but do I think it's cool when one of my favorite players? Because I mean, don't get me wrong, when Stevie Johnson was a Bill, I even still wish him well and try to catch him if he's out there and the game's on or whatever. I try to see what he's doing, but I really like that dude. I thought he was a cool guy. Made some great plays in Buffalo. Made some that kind of broke my heart.
By the way, that Toronto play resurfaced against the Seahawks, where it was the Odell catch that wasn't a touchdown, really.
But I don't want it to get to the point, man. And this is to circle back and close my thought on this. I don't want to get to a point where that's not an option anymore, where all this
It's back to
all this blasting,
another channel.
All this, all this blasting back and forth is gonna result in the players either their agent saying, "Hey, get off the social media," or the league saying, "Hey, get off the social media," or whatever. You know what I mean? Because like, for instance, the officials, there's like the gag order. The refs can't talk to the media. God, I kind of wish the refs could talk to the media, but I don't want it to get to that point. I don't want it to be where the league says, "Hey, listen, players, like we're sick of this making the news. You can't interact with your fans on social media anymore." Getting tweeted back by Stevie Johnson was mad cool to me. I'm sorry. That was dope.
And you want to know something? If you have something respectful to say to them, you know, they're going to remember you too. And it's like, if you have this access, why not respect it? Like, I would never tweet EJ, "Fuck you, you suck, yada yada." Like, I want you to take your job and think in your head, what do you actually take pride in? Because I don't give a shit what you do. There's somebody better than you. There always will be. You're not gonna be that .000000001 unless you are Sammy Watkins listening to this right now. You're not. You're not gonna be that 1 to 32 quarterback starting in the NFL. You know, you're just not. Have a little respect to the
and even
access
if you
of
are
these
now,
players.
you never know. You never know when that's gonna dry up. Even if you're the shit at the moment, doesn't mean you're gonna be the shit tomorrow or next week or next month.
You never know. I mean, I just can't imagine working my ass off all days when I'm getting at and taking pride in what I do and knowing that there's somebody better than me out there and knowing that other people can control my destiny. And then, oh, by the way, I get home after doing all that work and then I have to, you know, I'm already feeling like shit. I'm already having this long flight home from freaking London. You don't think I feel like dog shit that I got 50-something odd people in this, actually 60 to 70, including the staff, probably 100 people to make this whole Operation London go on, and EJ Manuel screwed it up. You really need to pile on me like I need that? No, man. Have some respect.
There was even more people than that around.
You gotta do that at your crappy jobs like we got, where we gotta come home, we're trying to relax, and you got people barking up our ass, telling us how much we suck. Screw that. What do? We go eat dinner, we hang out with the family, and we check social media, but we don't get it like that.
I guess they actually rolled over there with a few hundred people.
Really?
Yeah, I was listening to CMF here in Rochester, the break room in the morning, and they have Sal Capaccio come on there from time to time. And he was saying that the Pagulas pay for like pretty much the entire organization to come over there. Like everybody, he said. I mean, I'm sure they didn't have like the peanut salesman over there and the
right.
You know, the event security guys, the event staff.
Man, they toss money around like holy shit.
I think that's really cool though, to take the team over there and experience London like that.
That's awesome, man. A lot of guys did that. They got to bring their families.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They paid for the families and the, you know, the assistants of the assistants of the assistants.
And exactly, and that's why, you know what? Let's put ourselves somewhere real quick. You know, we're talking pretty much. We're 23 minutes in, and we've been really talking why you should have the hope here, and diving into some other things. But like the big hope, we have the 9 games. But think about this. Where were you in the beginning of the season? We got new ownership for their first off season.
Right, and I started to touch on this earlier. The number one setback this season has been health. The beginning of the season, we saw this dominant team come together, this force to be reckoned with, and I mean everybody was high on it. Everybody, how could you not?
Think about it, McCoy. You get that thing sent to your phone.
You
get
that
alert.
You get that little.
Kiko traded for McCoy. I'm like, hell yeah, rushing title 2 years ago.
I'll take it.
Most rushing yards since like 2010. Yeah, I'll take it. Are you kidding me? And then you pick up Percy Harvin. You're hearing word that the Jets might release him. Holy shit. And then the draft, and they're like, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. I kind of get into the late round picks. You got obviously the whole Rex Ryan thing. You have all this stuff, and how can we just check out already?
Right. I mean, there's a lot
How
of
can
things.
we check out?
There was a lot of
after
things
7
I was
games?
excited for, and some of them didn't come to fruition. Like, for instance, Nick O'Leary. I thought, oh man, this guy was like winning awards for tight end in college. This dude's gonna be dope. No, it didn't work out like that. He was not impressive enough.
Fred Jackson's gonna be back number 2.
Yeah, but then there's things you didn't see coming. I had no idea Carlos Williams was gonna be nearly as successful as he was. And that's another guy that I cannot wait to see hit that field again. And as far as I know, we got him back. He's available for Sunday. He's been participating at practice. He was out for like a month.
Yeah.
He was out for a month. And I was seeing he had like severe concussion symptoms. Like was sitting in the dark at home, didn't leave his house, just sitting in dark rooms.
Wow.
Like hurting inside his head, but he said it's not going to affect his style of play. He said he's going to still go out there and just go wild. So I'm looking for him, man. I like that guy.
He's on fire. I can't wait to see him back.
I think he opens it up for McCoy a lot too. I really do. I don't dislike Dan Herron's play, but I don't think he really opens the game up the same.
I'm curious to know what's going to happen with Boobie Dixon because I got to be honest with you, like. Have you noticed the last 2 games? I don't think he's run the ball once. And in fact, Herron, after they picked him up off waivers, Herron, like, first game he was eligible to play, which is on a really short week, he got the opening snap. Wasn't the Bills website made this big fuss. Oh, Boobie, what's it going to be like to take whatever? Boobie, like you're a good person. I don't think offensively this year you're toting the rock too well. It could just be luck, could be offensive line. I don't know what it is. I like you on the special teams, but
I was gonna say
that's the position where Herron tore up the Bengals when he was in Indianapolis. I don't know too much about him, but a lot of Indy fans were bummed that he got caught. So, you know,
yo, Boobie, we love you, bro. We love your videos. We want you to stay around. So we know you're listening.
Just step your game up, dog.
Get in there and block them punts. That's all you got to do. If you're blocking punts. They'll keep you. At the
same time, I feel like the Bills like to have versatile guys because he could run fullback, he can do other things, and he is a solid special teamer. At the same time, if this Herron kid turns on, I don't think he's bad. I like that guy, man. I think he moves all right.
Yeah, he's not terrible. I mean, for a number 3 back, he's
right. But the matter at hand is
right where he needs to be.
The matter at hand is we got health. We got Carlos Williams back. Henderson will be back. Santrell, the right tackle. He had some concussion things. He's all set to go. Also, obviously Miller, the right guard, will be back. Because he had a death in the family.
Right, that was a death in the family. Didn't he have a little nagging injury, though? A little ankle or something?
I am honestly.
He had something, but as far as I know, he'll be available Sunday. He's gonna be starting Sunday, so. I mean, we got our backfield back. We got our offensive line back. We got our quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
who says he's at 100% for the first time all year? I want to see that there's still some.
I think they're blowing that up out of proportion.
Maybe,
I could be
but
wrong because like. I feel like, he is about 100%. Like, how much more is the play? Somebody asked the money on Chris Brown. How much more is the playbook gonna open? Maybe it wasn't. I don't want to quote him if he doesn't want to be, but I don't. I want to make sure I nail it right. But the question was along the lines of, is the playbook gonna open up now that you're 100%? And it's like, no, stop it. The playbook has been open. Or are you gonna go down more? A little quicker, you're gonna be more.
I still have my crazy conspiracy theory that the playbook has only been partially open. I still have that conspiracy theory that there's things that there's looks we haven't seen yet, both sides of the ball.
Right, and here's what the problem that they're having is
because a lot of the stuff that I pictured early on, a lot of the stuff that I got familiar with when I heard Greg Roman was our offensive coordinator. I watched some 49ers footage, I'm not seeing a lot of the stuff that I expected. I thought I'd be seeing a lot more screen passes, a lot more.
Yeah, me too.
A lot more little inside tight end routes. Oh, you see it. We see enough of those. Clay nails those, but the thing I like about Clay is he nails those like 8 yards farther downfield than your average tight end. He's really got good speed to go with his size.
Right. And
do cost a fortune, but man, I love what he does.
Hey,
out
what
there.
an athlete, dude! The balls that EJ Manuel were throwing.
One thing I want to point out about Clay before we move off it, he represents when we play against Miami. When we played him in Week 3, that 41-14 win.
Oh, that was crazy.
Oh my God, he played so hard that day.
He really did, and he's such a great athlete. If you look at the balls that EJ Manuel threw to his guys trying to get him crushed, Clay came down with some magnificent grabs. That kid he's obviously a very gifted athlete. Another athlete, I don't know what his deal is. Very interesting, Percy Harvin. Now it's a knee. It's one of that. I guess it's a knee thing. Rex is not touching it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to
Not
think
touching
here.
it.
At first it's a hip, then it's a personal issue. Now we hear a knee.
Here's what I wonder. The conspiracy theory time. I might have said this last week, so I'm sorry. But if you think about it, Sammy Watkins' comments came out. Then you hear it was a personal reason after the first week was an injury. Then you hear a personal reason.
You think
Now, I
you
don't
think
know
Percy
if
came at Sammy?
I don't think he came at him, but like I would have a little issue.
Because if you said that, you wouldn't be the first person I heard to speculate that might have happened.
Well,
I mean, this is just like Internet Joe's talking, not anyone in that locker room.
I'm playing the best football of my career in a minute to the start of a season here, and I'm getting the targets and I'm making plays and I'm lighting shit up, and second year boy over here has got a little issue. I would have an issue. Like, yeah, how about you shut your mouth, kid? Don't worry about it. We're winning.
Right.
That could happen. But did it? I don't know. We'll never know. At least for now.
Yeah, I mean, you might hear later, but I mean, Percy Harvin has.
I think it honestly.
Percy Harvin came in here with that stigma on him that he's this. They always use the term cancer, this locker room cancer. I don't even like that term, a cancer in the locker room. I mean, how nice are these guys supposed to be? I mean, I understand,
this
but
is football,
right?
And what's going on with football is it's getting, quite frankly, it's getting wussified. As Mike Sawyer's dad would say, it's wussy stuff. It's just like really just wussy boy. That's his word, man. Wussy boy, allegedly. I don't know. Like I know him.
I've never met him.
It's run by wussy boys. That's it. I mean, think about it. They're trying to take the tough out of football. And they're throwing flags on every incident. And we actually touched on this last podcast. You know, it's ridiculous. And Percy Harvin, I think, is a guy, I said this before, he's ultra competitive. If you're slacking, if you're whatever, and that's a block I have in this world is, you know, people told me what the score is right off the bat. That's how I deal with it. And a lot of people, you know, especially when you do other hobbies, you're not around rigid people who might have played sports or not, or just had hard work jobs, and then you have a hard time getting along with them. That could be Percy Harvin. I don't know his background.
Right, and it's just to the point, man, where you can't satisfy anyone anymore. You want to win. You want your team to win football games. You want these guys to go out there and be aggressive. You want them to be on the field. You want them to be savage. You want them to be animal-like. But then once the game's over, you want these guys to just like turn it off like a faucet and be some sort of like diplomat. And I'm sorry, but if you got a mean, savage, animal-type personality on your team, that might carry over. And sometimes you got to adjust to that because you need that on the football field.
And there's also going to be people in many walks of life where they make a statement. I don't care if that's in the office. I don't care if I deal with you personally. You're going to know where you stand, and that's it. And Percy Harvin might be one of those guys. And quite frankly, you know, do I think that really happened? No, because I want to wish the best for Percy Harvin. That's just my wild conspiracy theory. But what I think it is?
You know what? You know who I'm thinking of right now?
Who?
And, you know, I like to try to stay on topic with Bill's stuff on here. But one guy who was real hot when he was younger, who was actually able to harness that into a positive thing, is one of my favorite non-Bills players of all time, Ray Lewis. Might have stabbed a guy in the neck. Not even going to debate that, but he was always a real eccentric personality, and he turned his passion into basically, he turned his anger into leadership. And
yeah, I want to punch Ray Lewis in the face, and I think everybody the last year they played on a team with him want to punch him in the face, because Ray Lewis, I don't care. My dad is a G, and he says, you know that guy did it. Where's that suit? My dad's got way more street smarts than I could ever dream of. Love you, Pops. But I'm telling you, that shit is fishy. He's way over the top. I'm Ray Lewis. Come on, boys. You know how we're going to do this? What are you going to do, Ray? Snap into a Slim Jim? Shut up, man. Go away, all right? Because even reports were coming out, I was seeing on Pro Football Talk, they're going, team's kind of sick of Ray Lewis's shit in a nutshell. All right, dude, get off this, he's too eccentric.
No, but I mean, he turned it, what was initially a negative, into a positive.
Yeah, he got another lease on life after he got away with murder.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah, so
there's
where's the suit? Where's the suit?
I mean, the other side of that though is where's the suit?
Dry cleaning. It's in dry cleaning. He's got it like that. He's in dry cleaning.
Yo, OJ didn't do none of it.
Man, I really wanted OJ even as a kid, man, when that was all going on. We had the TV on the rolly carts in the cafeterias. I still believe OJ was framed.
OJ
was totally framed.
They filed us into the gymnasium to watch that.
Yeah, dude.
That was a thing, man. That was epic.
OJ was so framed.
Yeah, he was way framed.
Way framed. I don't care if he wrote that in the book. He tried to make money. All right. OJ was saying the gloves did not fit. And I know there's a thing called shrinkage, just like the Seinfeld episode with George Costanza and the lobster bibs and the shrinkage. But
yo, I was always in the pool. I've been in the pool since birth.
All right, back to Percy Harvin. So with Percy Harvin, the real theory that I think is going on,
I was in the pool,
is he's really just, if you're contemplating retirement, it's because you're frustrated. So what I think could be happening is there could be a clash with the training staff, okay? And here's where I'm getting this from. It's been the same training staff for a while. I'm stuttering here. All right? Terrell Troop was flipping out on Twitter because people were, again, being asshole Bills fans that we touched on earlier, tweeting at Terrell Troop when Gronkowski's going off, I think, early in the season, first couple weeks, tweeting him saying, could have had Gronkowski, but we got Terrell Troop. Then Terrell Troop got nasty and said the Bills fucked up my career, pretty much just like that with the F-bombs. And they made me come back before I was ready. And you know what I think's happening with Percy? I think they want him to play because he's able-bodied. They want him to play. And I don't think he wants to yet. And I think he's looking out for him. I don't have a problem with it. I think he's just paying attention to his own body, and he realizes that his career is short. I mean, he's already looked at like a China doll, and quite frankly, when that guy gets the rock in his hands, he's super explostive. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I like definitely Robert Woods, but when Percy touches that ball, you're thinking yards after catch all day long. No problem. No ifs, ands, or buts.
He's gone. I mean, he's just end zone waiting to happen.
Yeah, and I think he knows how explosive he is. He's essentially on a 1-year deal. He's retardedly expensive next year.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, you would think he would want to drive that price up if he were to.
I think there's a theory being floated out there that he might play injured for the rest of the year. I don't think that's true.
I don't know, man.
Not play injured, but like not come back to keep his
I don't know,
value up.
like the way some of it got worded, where they're saying he's back at the facility and wants to contribute. It almost sounds like it does almost sound like the team was like, "Yo, are you in or are you out? You know, do you want to play or do you not want to play?" I think from somewhere between the coaching staff and the front office, and I don't know who or like where the in between would be. Someone's basically telling Percy Harvin should or get off the pot.
I think he's the real deal. I think he's got to stick around. I want to see him come to fruition in Buffalo. I believe in him. I also bought his jersey. We went over this.
That's first and foremost, reason. Man. Yeah, that's the real important thing here.
The way I'm looking at it too is when you think about the playmakers, you're thinking Tyrod Taylor as well. We saw with E.J. Manuel. E.J. Manuel, I like him. I've been a clear supporter of him, but quite frankly, his eyes are too slow. We talked about this last podcast. We really broke it down, but let's break it down real quick again. Tyrod Taylor, he drops that ball in the bucket. The balls are catchable. They're yards after catch. I don't care if you have Watkins, the Hulkamaniac himself, the Iron Sheik,
yeah.
whoever's out there that you're pulling out there, Spider-Man,
Jerry Rice,
all
these superheroes,
the Incredible Hulk. I don't care.
Lou Ferrigno or like
he's not throwing them a catchable ball consistently.
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor is consistently throwing the balls.
You said balls.
Yeah, we got that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, let's be mature.
All right.
Come on. Grow up, man.
We try to save that for our YouTube videos. We usually try to keep the podcast pretty tidy, but I gotta be me sometimes.
Trying to cut,
which means
this is just gonna get edited. I have the power to cut this out. Keep going.
No, just ride it out, man.
11% battery on this thing.
Just ride it out, man. All right.
So
in summary,
EJ's just not gonna get the job done at this point, and with all that hype behind him, finally we got to see live bullets. I'm sorry, I don't want to see him right now. I need Tyrod Taylor. There's still hope. Tyrod Taylor can be our guy. He's too smart.
Right, and back to the eyes. He's great. Not even just making the throws, but extending the play, moving the pocket. EJ gets into trouble and just goes. And we talked about this way earlier, back in like preseason podcasts. He gets in trouble and he just goes and like hopes there's room to run. Tyrod actually sees lanes develop and like gets through them.
EJ goes back to bad habits. He goes back to his old habits of pushing the ball. As a guy Sal Capaccio always says, is when EJ throws that ball like a 6'4" guy, it makes sense. But sometimes he doesn't, and a lot of times he doesn't. And that's what we saw in the Jaguars game. And quite frankly, he had so many opportunities right in front of us that Tyrod Taylor, we knew if he was in, he would have made that play.
Yeah, no,
and he did a nice job scrambling. He did a nice job running some calls.
The thing that hurts with EJ is he won't just let you down easy. He won't just blow it every time.
Nope.
Because he'll sit there. He'll take a couple sacks. He'll maybe toss up an interception. Throw all these boneheaded get all these bad reads, all these bad passes in the dirt, over the head, whatever. And then he'll have a play like that pass to Easley. And you're just like, look at that ball fly. Oh, my God.
He just whips it sometimes so pretty.
And it's to the point where, like...
And then he throws
some of his other play is so bad that, like, it completely wipes out those plays. Like, I wish they weren't even there so I wouldn't get my hopes up. EJ Manuel... We know you're listening. You're killing me, bro.
Bro, come on, man.
Just really suck a lot.
Honestly,
just kill it or just suck all the time. It's so hard.
Yo, you got a long career. You know what I mean? You still got time to step up. If Tyrod gets hurt again, you'll be back in. Just all we want to see as fans, we just want to see you grow, man. Even if it's here, especially if it's here, we just want to see you grow. That's it.
Yeah. That.
One big guy coming back. Next topic. Leotis McCalvin. But saving this for last. Let me tell you something. I'm psyched.
I love Leotis, and what I love almost as much as I love Leotis is the buzz going around what his role is going to be returning.
Right. Now, here's what's going on.
In case you haven't heard. You know, a lot of times we get on here, we start talking, we act like you watch the game for sure. We act like you've been hearing all the same radio shows as us. Sometimes we assume that you already know what we're talking about when actually you might be listening to us to get that news. So, Leotis McCalvin has been on the injured to return list. Has not played yet this year. Getting activated this week. Should be available Sunday. But he's coming back to maybe fill in at safety because
here's what it is.
Aaron Williams is still going to be out for a while with the neck, from what I understand.
Corey Graham's a little hobbled. Okay?
Dude, Corey Graham is such an animal this year.
And you want to talk about that touchdown in the Jaguars game that should have been a touchdown? I believe he pulled his groin on that play.
Oh, man.
You know, which was his dude. And,
yeah.
you know, Corey Graham was limited in practice. So what I'm getting at here is what this team wants to do is with Aaron Williams out, you want your best, which is what I love about Rex, is you want your best guys.
11 guys on the field.
Yeah, and he needs to be out there. So here's what's probably going to happen is if you watch the Bills, they usually send a safety into a zone over the top a lot, and then they drop a safety down in the box. Now, they say Leo don't have the size to do that, to really be great in run support. At the same time, they're using that safety a lot of times as a corner. So that's what I like about it, to mix things up. So that's going to be nice to have him.
Yo, and I want to credit Corey Graham real quick because I was wondering what his size was going to be like, what his transition from corner to safety was going to be like, and he's just been killing it out there, leading the team in tackles, just playing super aggressive. If Leotis
spectacle.
If Leotis transitions into the safety position even half as well.
I don't think he's playing as much a safety, though. I don't think you need to look at it like that.
I honestly see him taking on like a hybrid safety / nickel corner role, honestly.
Hopefully.
So, I mean, that should really be an interesting thing to watch on Sunday.
It'll make everything really interesting. Another interesting thing. I hope they take advantage of this wrinkle. It'll be nice to see Leo out there, man.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to have him contributing on special teams, but if they did, it would be...
I think he says he is, but
that would be great.
Leo being Leo.
But, I mean, I'm still waiting to hear who's getting released to make his roster spot. I mean, if he's back, I mean, who goes? Who do you think? I mean, do you have any ideas? What would you do if you were Whaley?
No clue.
I mean, maybe Denarius Moore, but you don't... You want to thin out that wide receivers?
Honestly, I'm so psyched on Denarius Moore, especially with Goodwin on IR. Like,
yeah.
That's a guy I want to bring up. He could be something.
I mean, I'm just trying to think realistically. Like, where do you make that cut?
I feel like because Sanjay Lal had him, that maybe they won't cut him. The wide receivers coach had him before.
In Oakland, yeah.
So he really likes him. And I don't know. I feel like Rex rules the show, so Rex wants him.
Yeah, and I mean Rex.
I mean, could that be Boobie Dixon?
Rex is high on that Sanjay guy, and I mean the receivers seem to really respect him too. I've heard all those guys say like how much of an impact he's had on this team. So. Right.
Well, overall, it's been nice to stomach, to really have a week off from. That Jaguars game, because I was so pissed last time, and I know we're hitting you with positivity now.
Right.
9 games left against the Miami Dolphins.
I mean, we crushed them week 3.
Crushed them.
Now, there's been some changes in Miami.
Just a little bit.
They gave Philbin there the old heave ho. Clean your desk out.
Their head coach is gone. He's all done.
Dude was inept, and I mean... it got to the point where I was feeling bad for those Dolphins fans. I mean, I don't really feel bad for Dolphins fans. As a matter of fact, I mean, our boy Tall Kevin, he's the only one I even give a pass to. Tall Kevin, you're a Dolphins fan, but we love you.
There's so many reasons to hate the Dolphins.
There really are. But what's really changed with Dan Campbell taking over as head coach? What do you think
They beat two crappy teams.
But hey, I mean, at the end of the year, a win's a win, a loss is a loss, and they're not going to say, "Hey, you won 10, 8 of them were crappy. You're not making the playoffs because 8 of them were crappy." No, you won 10. This other team won 9. You got the playoff spot. You know what I mean? Whatever that scenario plays out to be. I'm just pulling numbers out of my B.
I mean, Dan Campbell, he's got this team all fiery. And then they didn't show up at all against the Patriots. But
yeah, I mean,
nobody's showing up against the Patriots.
I mean, they came in there looking tough. One thing that makes me rest a little bit easier with Tyrod coming back from the MCL, though, is knowing Cameron Wake is not going to be on that field Sunday.
I mean, I feel bad for him. But
oh no, I mean,
it's awful.
Guy's a great player. I hate when there's great players on division rivals. Sucks to see his season over, but.
Yeah, I
doesn't suck for us.
Rex said it though. Not to cut you off, but Rex said it. He's like, not much has changed schematically. They're just running the ball more, and from all accounts, I think John Murphy or somebody said that's so. I'm taking that back. I'll just say that somebody on the radio said, because I don't know who said it. I don't know any of this. You would picture him.
You'd think we would take better notes than this, but we don't.
You would figure he runs a funeral home before he's a head football coach. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And everybody, my father's my father's greatest lines. Actually, I'm not even gonna say it.
Say it.
But no, we're not.
You know what? Your dad's the man. I want to know.
Everybody fucks differently. That's what he says. Everybody has different ways to get the job done.
Right.
And
no, I like where this analogy's going.
You got the Belichick approach. You got everybody wants to hop on. This is the way to do it. There's so many different ways to do it, but Dan Campbell's way is firing them up, and as it goes, you usually fire your defensive head coach to hire an offensive head coach because your offense sucked, or vice versa. Your offense sucked, or your offense is good, your defense sucks. You hire the defensive head coach. And then what happens with coaches too? Oh, you go from the funeral home director to the party animal. It just happens. You go from an asshole in Doug Marrone to a rock star in Rex Ryan.
I wouldn't even say an asshole in Doug Marrone. He's just kind of like that dry poo on the side of the road, like.
I think Doug Marrone has a very dry sense of humor.
I don't even think there's a sense of humor. He smiled before. I know. I saw him smile like once.
So he started coming on WGR in the mornings for Football Fridays, and he was like so psyched. At first, hey, it's Football Friday. Where are you guys all excited? And then like after he said EJ Manuel is 100% to play against the Patriots, and then he didn't play. And the media pretty much called him on it. They're like, he got mad and he just stone-faced. And
yep.
The trials and tribulations of a head coach. Either way, I don't think this guy matters that much. I really don't. So you got a fiery guy in there. Big deal. Rex said it. The scheme isn't changing that much. They're going to run. But with my luck, they're going to get the Bills are going to get blown out somehow because this will be the different Miami team. They came together, and then we're going to figure out who the hell is this guy that did this to the Bills. He never showed up before, but that always happens.
You know what, though? Next week, we're either going to be sitting here being like it's those new Bills and them same old Dolphins, or we're going to be like, it's those new Dolphins and them same old Bills. So let's see where we're at after this game.
I can't wait to see how everything comes in. I don't think Campbell's a factor. I really don't.
I don't think he's a game changer. I mean, I don't think he's going to do a worse job than Philbin did. would have a hard time picturing that. I mean,
I feel Philbin got a bad deal, man. The offensive line scandal, that shit got overblown.
that was a little ridiculous.
You know,
I mean, I get it, but
which, by the way, Richie Incognito, I know you're listening, dog. You are playing out of your mind.
yo, way
to be the best offensive lineman on the damn team.
Way to be back, man. Like, glad to have you.
And dude, when all that was going down, it sucks, man. It sucks. You've been given a lot of chances, but so far so good on this one. And it was cool in a way that you had a year and a half to heal up all any loose nagging injuries. And it kind of makes you wonder if these
another guy though, another example of a guy who got this reputation as being that term again, a locker room cancer, who's now turned it around into positive play.
I just want to see Percy Harvin make that come to fruition here. I mean, a lot of guys on this team right now can make careers this year with 9 games left. Don't forget, Odell Beckham put up those numbers missing a lot of time last season.
Yeah, he missed, I think, 3 games last year.
He put up, man.
Yeah, he really did.
I don't
a lot of times with one hand.
Yeah, and I don't want to bash guys either,
You know what? I have no problem bashing him. His head looks like a blooming onion. I said it.
But
now make a real point to cover that up.
People say, "Oh, there's so many good ones." You don't know that Odell's going to show up. Everything is based on potential in the draft. I'm sick of people saying, "Oh, we could have had." Yeah, we could have, but now we're here.
You know what? And we got these guys who are whining because Sammy's missed 3 games. We got these guys crying, and it's all the same guys. Oh, we could have got Beckham. We could have got Evans. Well, the other one that they were always throwing around last season was Kelvin Benjamin. We could have gotten Kelvin Benjamin, and he could have still come here and torn his ACL and still missed the whole season and not play a single snap. And we could be in that boat.
And he still could have played with Kyle Orton and EJ Manuel, who are not targeting them.
And we said this before talking. If we didn't move up in that draft, we probably would have picked Eric Ebron 9th overall. Eric Ebron.
Who cares?
Who didn't show up for the Lions. I mean, he's doing a little bit better this year than he did last year.
I would rather buy him at this point. And that's where the Bills were at. It's like, who would we have? It's so solid.
We missed Eric Ebron, but then we went and bought Charles Clay. Like,
it is what it is, man. Like,
hello.
Point overall is just be positive. There's so many positive things. Incognito's one. Watkins is because now everybody's healthy. This is where they thought their team would be.
Again,
except for Williams is the 2.
Yeah. Kyle and Aaron, get well soon, guys. They're saying Kyle Williams is gonna miss, I think, the next 2 games. I don't have a timetable for Aaron Williams' return, really.
I believe 6. I don't know about 6 from now, but he was on IR with designation to return. I think. They put him on there. After they lifted up Leo.
I'm glad Leo's coming back though.
I wish they had more roster spots, or like maybe 3 guys could return from IR, because who knows about Goodwin, Who knows about guys?
You know what? I'm done with Goodwin, man. I really had high hopes for him.
Saying I think he's a great to have the available option.
I think he's a great dude, but honestly, if he's done being a Bill, I'm okay with that.
I don't care. I'd rather, I guess, because then you got to wait for him to rehab all this and
right.
And
it's just
brittle.
It never plays out for more than a week or 2.
Well, not in that kid's defense, he's a victim of circumstance, which is fat people falling on him. I shouldn't even say fat people, just monster men falling on his ribs. Literally, that Pittsburgh one.
Right.
The dude it was late. There was no flag, but the guy just pretty much did a Yokozuna, just boom, right on him.
But I think for me, when you got a guy whose claim to fame is that speed, when that's what that guy's all about, and he is an end zone threat like that, but has the reputation of being fragile, they're gonna take that shot. They're always gonna go for that little guy. They're gonna eliminate him because that jams you up on special teams, that jams you up on third and long situations, big time. I mean, I feel like those are the types of situations where he really comes in handy. 4 receiver sets, things of that nature. Put him in that slot. Put him on the go route.
Take that safety out of the play. You know what I mean? You have him going deep on that goal, like you're saying, and then you leave everything.
Right, and this dude is a dude who can outrun your average safety, no problem. He's got the speed that's going to require a top corner.
It's that extra calculation, but like everybody says though, if you're in the tub, you don't make the club. End of story.
This is yeah, and this is exactly the type of thing that goes back to like that perfect picture that we had of this Bills team going into the season. You see, a healthy Goodwin taking off, drawing some coverage, leaving Sammy open. You see Sammy taking the coverage, leaving Goodwin open. It all rolls into the same snowball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like we got the hope back, and we got 9 games, and guess what? Now's the time. Put up or shut up.
That's it. Like I said before, shit or get off the pot.
That's all we got. Check us out. Numb Bills fan on Twitter. Numb Bills fan Adam D is Deacon.
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, Numb Bills fan Adam D. Dave tweets off of the main Numb Bills fan Twitter account. We're Numb Bills fan on Instagram. We got a YouTube channel that you should check out. And of course, numbbillsfan.podbean.com to stream this. Or if you really like what you're hearing out here, go ahead, pull up your iTunes, pull up your podcast app, and subscribe to us there. It'll download automatically to your phone, let you know when you got a new episode. It's really awesome, and we're really glad that we can do this for you.
There will be some short blurbs. We're gonna have a lot more videos coming up, just a different content. Please check our playlist. We have a podcast playlist. We only threw out one podcast, but this one will be thrown up on YouTube.
Yeah, we're gonna
with images and things along the lines. But we also have our regular segments of occasionally we'll do a funny video. We're gonna throw up possibly old footage from our Miami edit we had with different things that we didn't think were gold.
If you caught us back at week 3, we did what I think is a really funny video. Dave's out wrestling a dolphin on the beach. It's fantastic. It's on our YouTube site. We'll be posting links to it on Twitter throughout the weekend. And we're gonna throw together some behind the scenes cut footage from that. So look out for that stuff. We got a lot of stuff coming at you. A lot of different flavors, different variety of content. We're going to try some new stuff, see how it goes. And honestly, we'd love your feedback. Tweet at us. We have an email. It's numbbillsfan@gmail.com. Even if you think we suck, tell us why.
Yeah, let us.
Any feedback is better than no feedback.
Let us know. We're not the most, we're not setting out to light the world on fire here. Actually, we are.
But hey, if we do, and we'll take it.
If it has to do with the Bills or if it's funny content and maybe, example, we have this new thing, Italian contractors, and every day it's me and my friend Tony, and we work together, and we're on the job site, and it's just, I feel like we talk a lot, just, we're both Italian, and we just have this thing just naturally that comes out that we just always snowball. We decided to record it. Again, if you don't like Scarface, you don't like the F-bombs, I really don't like to swear much. Especially on the podcast.
This is not safe for work, but we mark it as such. We mark it as such when we do. And I'm not Italian, but this junk is funny, man. This junk is funny. These guys got me laughing.
But yeah, check it out if you get bored. Don't forget, Numb Bills fan everything, wherever you are.
Yeah, if you don't remember where to find us, just pop it into Google.
Again, shout out to section to 331. Come find us.
Yes.
Come find me.
Yeah, and if you're out on the interwebs, just look for the guy with the hot dog. That's us. We're out. It's Adam Deacon, Dave Palermo, Numb Bills Fan Podcast. We'll see you next time.
Peace.